Live like you need to spend every evening in solitary confinement. You've probably got goals, and if you're really advanced, you've probably written these goals down, and you look at them every day. I'm going to speak to you as though you're someone who has goals, who wrote them down, and looks at them every day, because that's who this is for. Here's what's weird. Even if you have goals, and you do look at them every day, sometimes you don't follow them. Even if you've written down the action steps of what you need to do every day to achieve your goals, sometimes you don't do it. Why? If you know what you need to do, why don't you do it? Why is it so hard to choose to do it? I believe it's often due to a mental health issue. However, the prescribed solution to not having the discipline to acting out your goals is the very same solution to the mental health issue that caused you to not have the discipline in the first place. I can't speak for women, but I believe that the primary cause of depression and the lack of discipline for men is not being aligned with your goals. As a man, I don't think you can be content or happy or any positive emotion if not in pursuit of a goal. Here's the actionable thing. Imagine two guys. Guy number one. Guy number one has to sit his entire evening in a cell from 5 p.m. until he goes to bed and wakes up for the next morning. If he's at least mindful of his goals, he's going to be sitting in the cell thinking, damn, I could be organizing the paper on my desk. Damn, I could be going for a run right now. Gee, I sure wish I could be reading that book I'm supposed to be reading right now. Guy number one will be terribly stressed out at the end of the day and haunted by the incompleteness of his action items, and that's going to drive him crazy. Now imagine guy number two. Guy number two wakes up at 6 a.m. He gets to work on his action items right away. He cleans his desk, he cleans his floor, he finished his work, and he does his workout, all before noon. And he spends the rest of his day doing what he wants. Come 5 p.m., guy number two is locked in the room, and he's able to sit content and happy that everything he set out to do that day is complete. He's unbothered by his goals because he knows he did everything he could to make progress towards his goals today. And the point is that if you don't follow the action steps for your goals at the end of a day, your goals are going to haunt you. And you're going to wish that you had made action towards them, but you didn't. And you don't want to be haunted by your goals. That's the opposite of what you want. So the theory is, if you use the fear of being locked in a room and being haunted by your goals, or being haunted by the incompletion of your action items towards your goals, the disgust that you have with yourself is very powerful. The disgust that you're going to have with yourself is a phenomenal motivator to be able to wake up the next day and do your action items instead of playing or getting high or masturbating or hanging out with your friends or drinking. Whatever you do instead of doing your work, there is probably something. No, there is something you do instead of doing your work. And it's very difficult to choose to do your work instead of choosing to do what you would otherwise do. But self-disgust and the fear of being haunted by the incompleteness of your action items is fantastic motivation to choose to do your work instead. You will not be grateful with your past self if you keep waking up and playing video games. You will not be grateful to your past self if you keep skipping your workouts. You will not be grateful to your past self if you go another day without reading self-development books. Do not listen to people who say otherwise. If you set expectations for yourself and you don't follow through with them, you should be absolutely disgusted with yourself. And you should use that disgust as motivation to follow through with your commitments to yourself. People who say otherwise aren't looking out for you. They're trying to justify their own behaviors. And you don't have time for that. Good luck.